Hey everybody, it's Lord Magicus, and this is our last round of Merfolk and Legacy. So, we are on the play. Opponent is keeping 7 cards. This looks like a perfectly reasonable hand. We're going to keep it. Or no, I'm sorry, we're on the draw, so I lied. Yeah, no, we're on the draw here. Arkham's Astrolabe. Fuck this card. I mean, this means this is probably a Teferi deck. Means we need to get this Ether Vial out and start throwing creatures into their face. So, Astrolabe, okay, so this could be Urza, actually. We don't know yet. This might be an Uro, like, Oko kind of mid-rangey deck, or this could be, like, an Urza-based deck, because they still play Astrolabe in that. I still dislike this card in principle just because it undermines Wasteland. I think it's important that Wasteland is very strong in the format, and the fact that this exists is just a problem for me. This also makes Uro too strong. We saw what happens in Modern when you put Astrolabe and Uro together, like Uro just gets out of control. So they had to ban Astrolabe in Modern, so I kind of wonder why they don't do that here. That's interesting. They might just swords this. You know what? That's fine. If they want to swords this, then I can actually protect it with the Curse Catcher right now. Otherwise, I will just put Speaker into play at the end of their turn. They don't go for it yet. So they do wait till their turn. So if they have a swords now, like they have to spend the mana on their own turn to do it. Which I'm fine with. Caracas, interesting. Yeah, so this is a Bant deck of some kind. So interesting. So they don't do anything here. Alright. Put Commander Speaker out. I think if they had it, they would have used the opportunity, but now maybe they'll do something. Okay, they do it here. Like, putting Curse Catcher out was not going to stop that, so... Abrupt Decay the Ether Vial. Interesting. This might be a good opportunity to try to jam True Name Nemesis. You have 4 cards left, so this... So let's see. So this is all like 4 colors already. Let's do this. You can't deal with this thing, so... Drawing Cavern was very good there because it let us not have to worry about stuff like Force. They might just play Uro and gain some life, and if they have it in hand at least. They might look for it too, or they can find Oko, that would actually be very good for them. Though, this Caracas... Yeah, like... That's interesting. So what else do they have? Maybe like Vendilion Clique might be in this deck. I mean, this works with Uro. What else? Fencers sometimes, but I doubt that they're playing that. Maybe Thalia? It's always hard because like they've already shown us they're playing 4 different colors in their deck, and then maybe they have a 5th color. Astrolabe just lets them play all of the good cards, and that's the problem with this. It just, you can't like do that in this format. That's not good. Gurmag Angler. That's fine. We can deal with that. Alright, let's crack the Grove for a card. I guess we're just gonna attack with True Name Nemesis. You can Trickster down the Gurmag. I might even let him hit me with it, to be honest. Get a 17, because I don't want them... Well, it depends on what they do here. I don't necessarily want to walk into a sweeper. But it looks like they're not going to have 4 mana available this turn, so it's probably reasonably safe. Oko. Yeah. See what Oko's going to do. He makes a food token. Okay, so here I can pretty safely Merfolk Trickster this thing. And we get to kill Oko. We only have 3 cards left, so that's pretty good. There's no need to play Curse Catcher here. I'm going to hold it up to keep it with Force. Baleful Strix. I don't like it, but I'm going to let it resolve. I need to get this True Name to start hurting them. So then if we top deck a Lord, we can just play it and hold up Force to just go for a win. Strix, again, is not really an issue as long as we can play a Lord and protect it. I think they should be attacking with Gurmag, though. I think it's a mistake not to. Alright, well, I think here's where we go for this. I think they're just dead. Oh, shit. They had Force of Negation. Alright, well, and this is gonna kind of suck. It's not the worst. I mean, we're gonna get the Strixes off the board. They're gonna go to 6, so we're still killing them in 2 turns. Like, our clock is gonna beat their clock. They had double Force, or they had a Force plus a Swords. I mean, that's fine, I guess. This thing is still gonna kill them, though, in 2 attacks, so we're still winning this race. They know what I drew here, so they have to find like Terminus or Council's Judgment or something right now to not die. No, they still have a food token, so they have 2 more turns to live. Okay. That's fine. We still we have to race. Like, I think that was the best chance that we had to kill them, so we had to take it. Yeah, going to 2 doesn't really matter. You are either at above 6 or below 6, so they have Plague Engineer. We're fucked. Nope, they're just digging for more cards. Alright, well, hopefully no Engineer. Engineer is the thing that we can't beat right now, so. Yeah, they go up to 5 here. That's a good idea, I guess. Play around just having something weird like Nimble Obstructionist. I do this because this means that they can't actually use any more fetch lands. I guess Fatal Push is a possibility, but we're still basically just hoping to dodge Plague Engineer. Because they can Jace bounce this back to our hand and then play Plague Engineer. This way, this lets them not be able to like play a fetch land to shuffle away their bad cards if that's a thing, so we're just hoping no Plague Engineer, and then True Name will kill them. Alright, what do you got? Did you find something? Or are you just going to cantrip into looking for it? Okay, you can't do that. That is a dead card right now. Alright, did you find Engineer? They could have something weird like Settle the Wreckage, I guess. Or maybe they're going to just, I don't know what they can do. Like, it has to be Plague Engineer, right? Oh, they swords their own thing. Okay, that makes sense. Buying themselves another turn that way. Alright, so they took away their clock to give them more draws. Okay, so they have, again, they're still down to one turn to find this Engineer. Which I presume is in their deck. That's why they're playing black in it, so... Yeah, I don't think they've shown us any red cards yet, so... It looks like just to be 4-color control. Yep, so Brainstorm away. They knew the top card, like, that was left from there last time was not the one they needed, so... I need them to miss one more time. They have 27 cards. They might have, like, 1 or 2 main deck Engineers. Or a Council's Judgment. No! They found it! Fuck! No! Alright, now we basically lose. Alright, well, we do have to play this, because now if we find a Lord of Atlantis, that could still actually, like, get there. But it's going to get harder, because now they might use Jace to start minusing and bouncing this back. But we had to hope that this didn't come up, and you know, they had it exactly like enough stuff to keep them alive long enough to do this, so it is what it is. I hate this card so much. This card is terrible. Alright. They have Abrupt Decay. Oh god. Ah, fuck. We were so close. Now this Engineer is threatening to kill us faster than we can probably kill them. So what works here? Something like Brazen Borrower? Oko might be okay. Nope, never mind. Now we basically lose, because now we can't beat the Oko. We got rid of the first Oko, and yeah, it's too late now. Do we get to keep an Oko? Alright. Pass, I guess. They just gained 2 life. Alright. They can animate this Astrolabe and then go after my Oko, put it to 1. This just buys us a little bit of time, but it's not really doing much. Okay, so if I draw True Name Nemesis, though, I can Elk the Plague Engineer and play a True Name Nemesis, and then still crack this, so I think I have enough to live, because then I can block this and then take 6. No, that doesn't... I don't think that's going to work, because I'm only going to be at 5 life. No, that... So, yeah, True Name probably is not going to do it here, right? Because I'm going to go to 2 this turn. If they don't... Unless they go after Oko, in which case then it will be enough. Okay, so yeah, if they go after Oko with these... yeah, I have the option to play True Name, gain 2 life. Or gain 3 life. Then I can Elk this, block one of these, and then maybe mount some kind of defense. Probably not once that's out, though. I think the correct thing to do is just Elk Astrolabe and attack me at this point. I don't know. Going after Oko and putting it to 1 is also fine. But I don't think, like, yeah, now my options are running out. Because if they go after this, how do I win here? They're gaining 3 life a turn. They don't know what I have in hand. So, like, I could have a Merfolk Trickster in hand, but I don't. Which I could use to trade with this thing. Yeah, like, this looks like it's probably... They're using a ton of time for this, though. So let's see. Next turn they can attack me for exactly 10. So I guess I have to Elk the food. Block this. Take 5. I'm just trying to waste their time at this point. Sounds like somebody's shooting off fireworks outside right now, so... Alright. Alright, you kill me. They have Jace, so... Sorry, I got distracted. There's some kind of, like, firework nonsense going on that I can hear. Harbinger, Dismember... Maybe 4... I think Mystical Dispute's good. Curse Catcher's probably not. I have to cut 3 more cards. Ugh. Do I really need Force of Negation? Probably no. Maybe I don't need Harbinger. They're playing Gurmag, though, and Harbinger's usually pretty good against that, but... The Brazen Borrower might also just be fine in that slot. I think I want to keep the rest of these cards. Yeah, cause, like... Disputes are kind of important, I think, so... I'm playing Abrupt Decay, so maybe I take out 1 Aether Vial. We were close in game 1, but, you know, it's rough. It's really rough out there. They're playing 2019-2020 Magic to the fullest extent. Astrolabe, fucking, Oko, Plague Engineer, it's all over there, so... This is an interesting hand. I actually kind of want to try this. I'm gonna do it. We have some time to draw another land. Just pray that we draw a land. That's basically what we want. Fucking Astrolabe. We never draw the land. That's just never what happens. If this game goes long, then this is fine. And if we want to keep these disputes up, it's going to be rough. I guess this is something worth countering. I don't know, like, this was maybe a sketchy decision, but I'm just trying, like, if this card is going to be good in, like, any matchup, it's got to be this one. So, that's what I'm hoping. The Trickster is fine, because now if we draw another land, we can hold both of these up. I don't want to deploy the Lords early if I don't have to. And unlike, you know, mono blue, no matter what land we draw, it will help us cast our creatures. There's no chance of, like, Mutavault coming and screwing us. Alright, what do we got? Nope. Let's use our mana. Well, we're still protected from Oko at least. If I'm pitching anything, it's probably this True Name Nemesis. So they ponder, they can get a land and then try to play Oko. That's kind of what I'm hoping for right now. Oh my god, you have so many of these things and I just don't have a way to deal with it. Alright. I can't afford to force that. Alright, I have to just keep this thing off the... Do I... I guess I want them to trade. This is the problem. Like, literally every card they play in their deck, like, draws them a card. So trying to, like, outgrind these decks is just a nightmare. And I think it's largely because of this. Like, because Astrolabe means they can play every single one of these kind of cards. Yeah, their mana will never miss, and the cards will never miss because of it. And it's never going to be weak against something like Wasteland. I have to counter this. They get to play fucking Back to Basics in their 4-color deck. Why? Why, Wizards? Why is this still a thing? Oh my god. Well, they're at 11, and I guess that's a thing. We're running out of real estate here, though, really quickly. Okay, you Abrupt Decay this. Oh, come on. Now they can play, like, any Planeswalker, and we just can't, like, deal with it. Alright, well, maybe there's hope. We need to draw lands, though. Oh, fuck me. Like, this is unreasonable. We have 20 lands in our deck. We've drawn one in the top 13 cards of our deck. Like, if we had drawn one land at any point during this game, we actually, like, had a reasonable chance, because we could just play, like, a spell and then force something every turn, so... But now we're at the point where, again, we have answered, like, all of this so far, and now, like, there's no hope that we can beat Oko, so, like, we're just fucked. I kind of want to do this now just in case they have, like, Stifle or something. Alright. It's probably too late. Yeah, like, again, the problem is, like, everything that they're casting is just digging them further into their deck. It's, like, Abrupt Decay is, like, you know, one of the only things that doesn't. Like, it's either their card removes something or their card just draws them another card. So there are no like blanks in their deck to draw basically. Of course they have Plague Engineer. Why would they not? Oko can elk my Lord of Atlantis. Yeah, but like this took entirely too long to get to a second land. It's like it's ridiculous. Like we had a very good chance if we drew it earlier, but like now this is hopeless. This is gonna get elked. Like they have the option to just start. They have like a superior defense to this right now. Actually, I don't know what's gonna happen if they elk this. Then it's gonna screw up. It might screw up because this card has been bugged in MTGO, so I don't know if they ever fixed it or not. So if they elk this thing, it might just like I may not have the option to play like a fair game here. Oh, of course they have Thoughtseize. Why would they not? Yes, naturally. And take Master of the Pearl Trident most likely. They take Brazen Borrower. That's interesting. Oh, never mind. All right. Whatever. We just lose. They double Plague Engineered us out of the game, so that's the like we didn't have Dismember. We had I don't know like we there if we had like gotten things on the board faster than that, we had a better shot. What I can say though, like let's review this league. Chalice of the Void was fucking garbage. Like we did not need that in any of these matches. It would not have done anything. So yeah, fuck you, Chalice of the Void. You are totally useless and. Yeah, I don't regret like not having Chalice. The only thing that I might regret is like maybe these Curse Catchers and these Mystical Disputes were not actually that good. This card was sort of okay, but maybe it'd be better in the sideboard. We should just play like something like Harbinger or Dismember in the main deck. And like I don't know if we even want this Curse Catcher here. There's got to be like something better we can do with these 4 slots that will be more productive. I don't know what exactly that is yet, but. Yeah, definitely, like, I don't think that these cards do very much here. Yeah, and this last match, like, this is, like, just emblematic of everything that is, like, wrong with with Legacy in this format right now. It's just, it's gone to hell. It is a 4-color deck that is playing back to basics in it, and it's not hurting itself at all by doing so. It's getting to play, like, yeah, just absolutely no fear of, like, Wasteland or anything to counteract it, and just playing all these like super busted cards, like Engineer and Oko, and presumably like Veil of Summers in their deck too, and just Astrolabe. It's just disgusting, and like that's kind of the reason that I don't like playing a lot of Legacy at this point because it's so dumb. So, but I do think if you're gonna play Legacy, like definitely don't play with Chalice of the Void. That card is just terrible. You want something like Collector Oath or Null Rod in your sideboard because those cards are much, much easier to like, have them do something meaningful in the matches where you need them to. I think like, I don't know, this maybe is like a sideboard card. I don't want to play more Forces because these cards, like Forces are just like, you don't want a 2-for-1 yourself and then like get forced back or dazed or something. Or even like Veil of Summered and then like the Planeswalker or whatever resolves and then you're just like losing. At least Mystical Dispute goes like 1-for-1 with stuff like Oko that you really want to counter with it. So even if they like counter the Mystical Dispute, like it's not that big a deal, but if you like 2-for-1 yourself to force something and they veil in response to like that just creates like an incredibly like terrible amount of swing to that game. So I don't want more Force of Negations in the main deck. Maybe this isn't something that maybe we need like Spell Pierce or Counterspell or something here. Spell Pierce could be reasonable. The only thing, like, Spell Pierce is gonna miss a few things, but it might be fine. Like, there's definitely, I think there's a Spell Pierce actually could do something sometime in like some of these matches, but I don't know. I just don't think Curse Catcher's it. So maybe we want more like the Dismembers in here instead or something. Or I'm not sure what else. But definitely, like, yeah, Chalice is just not what we want to be doing. I mean, this wasn't a great league for sure, but it did better than our combo list, and at least one of these matches was definitely winnable with a different decision path. So, I mean, this easily could have been a 3-2, and maybe I don't know. Maybe in the last match, if like. Again, if we had drawn a land in like the top 13 cards of our deck, like we could have mounted like, you know, some sort of board state before the engineers like started showing up. Like just being restricted to just playing basically nothing for like 7 turns in a row was just crushing. Like that, yeah. So I think that was kind of variance. Like maybe that could have gone our way. I think in general though that 4-color deck is still a problem, and it's going. I know Astrolabe is not as popular now as it was before, but I think as long as that deck is in Legacy, like I just have like no desire to play this format. I would much rather devote my time playing like Pioneer or even Modern. Historic, even, yeah, still like this is Legacy used to be my favorite format, and like playing against like this deck is just, yeah, it disappoints me in my soul. So yeah, if I can't actually play like, you know, cards like Force and Chalice that to like meaningfully interact with my opponent, like then I don't want to play Legacy. That Wizards is managing to just like ruin Legacy, just not by like banning it or, you know, not by like like doing anything stupid like, you know, banning all the restricted cards, or, you know, they're trying to let it fade into obscurity, and like that didn't work. So like what the only way they have left to do it is just throw more dumb bullshit like Oko at the format and then just let it figure it out, because if they keep throwing enough of these cards like this and like Dreadhorde Arcanist and, you know, all that nonsense, eventually, like, yeah, you know, Karn the Great Creator into Fairy, like even Urion was like, I don't know, we don't see that as much now, but like it still does like all the same stupid bullshit. Like throw enough of those kind of cards into Legacy and it will just eventually render it into a format that people don't want to play. And at least that's where I'm personally at. And I know a lot of these cards upset a lot of people, and it's frustrating to me that they're still legal in this format, especially after they just said in their Pioneer like ban announcement that they value community feedback. Well, I've been active in a lot of like the Legacy forums and stuff, and people like have been saying that, you know, these cards needed to be banned like months and months and months ago, and like Wizards does not seem to value their community feedback. So, and they didn't even mention Legacy in like the last announcement. It was kind of like the same, like I think the one before that when they banned Astrolabe, then they like mentioned it like, you know, oh well, they only care about the win rate. Well, that's exactly what they said about Pioneer, and like that format continued to go to shit. And then they changed course on Pioneer, but for some reason did not change course on Legacy. So I guess the community opinion only matters to them when it's in a format that they are trying to promote. So I don't know, that's incredibly disappointing to me. But I don't know, I think if you want to play Merfolk, you should do something more like this. If you want to play the combo version, don't play Merfolk. Play the fucking Wizard Shift list that just has like Watcher of Tomorrows and Baron and like, you know, all of the wizard cards in it, and like none of the Merfolk lords. Like it's not a Merfolk deck, it's a wizard deck. It's not playing like the core Merfolk cards. If you want to play Merfolk, do it something like this. So, and this isn't necessarily even the best way to do this. Like I said, maybe even something like True Name Nemesis could be like Mirror Regery instead. That might be fine, because at least that's a card that you can play in the face of Engineer, and it supports your tribal strategy a little bit better. Makes you a little bit more vulnerable to removal, but it makes you less vulnerable to things like Engineer, so who knows. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to say about this. Just this kind of went about the way that I thought it was going to, but I think it's still important to just play these every now and then, and just kind of get a feel for it. So, my advice is that if you are thinking about playing Merfolk for the Mana Traders Legacy series, I would play a different deck. Sorry. I just don't think that Merfolk has the same kind of power to it that it used to, and yeah, like, and it just doesn't seem to be the deck that I would want to spend my time playing if I was seriously trying to like compete for a big Legacy tournament. So, and I play it because these are the cards I like to play, but I don't have any disillusions that this is like a particularly great deck in Legacy right now. So, and it hurts me to say that, but it's the truth, and we have to acknowledge that. If we're purposefully limiting ourselves to playing, cards that we want to play with, and we can kind of optimize it for that, but you have to keep that bigger picture in mind. Like right now, like there are just too many problem cards in this format that like undermine the things that make Merfolk good, which are like Chalice of the Void, True Name Nemesis, and Force of Will. And like all three of those cards like are just super super weak compared to like where they were before. So like all of the power of Merfolk that made it strong has just been like kicked in the dick. And so there's not as much of a compelling reason to want to play it now as there has been in the past. So, well, I hope that you've enjoyed this. So, please give me a thumbs up if you like the content. I will have I don't know what I'm going to do next week. Maybe more Pioneer. I think there's still some room for like people to be brewing in Pioneer right now. There's a lot going on with it. So. I'm interested to see how that format shakes out now that they've banned like all the stupid problem cards from it, and I hope they follow suit with Legacy. But yeah, we probably won't be playing a lot of Legacy until something like that happens. I'll be more focused on other formats, so maybe Modern will get back into that. But I don't know. I think that the thing that really has my interest right now is mostly Pioneer, so we'll definitely be seeing more of that in the next like week or two. I don't know exactly when, but my guess would be that's what's going to be next week. So if you have comments about that, please, I'm interested to know. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next week.